1st of June, as Grania has just said. And oh my goodness, where has the past 5 months gone, right? And something that I shared in our group chat today was, 1st of June. 1st of June. Don't look. I know a lot of you, some people have worked and some people life has got in the way and they might not be where they want to be, right? So I don't want you to look back, stay, focused and looking forward. Remember what your calling is. Remember why you started this and just start where you are. There's no point in looking back. There's no point in beating yourself up about it, because what will happen is you stop loving your business. It'll become another thing to do, right? And we don't want that, because this should fit into your life and what is happening in it. And you can start right now. You don't need permission. You don't need comparison with what is happening with other people and their business and in their lives and so on, because everybody is in a different season, right? And I'm going to talk a little bit about that tonight, because we will do a little bit of social media training. And that's something that I want to share with you is how to be your authentic self, right? And in a world where this space is so noisy and we are in a trust deficit, people are just not trusting people on social media. Like, influencers are done for. People want to know why. Why should they buy from you? Why you? Why are you different? Right? Because they will buy you before they buy anything else. So, and you might think that because you haven't showed up, you're not showing up perfectly, or, you're in a different season from everybody, that doesn't position you in, it doesn't put you in a very well position, but that actually makes you relatable, right? So I want you to hold on to that for now, because we will get that toward the end of this. But in the interim, I do want you to write down, because I've given you a little bit of an idea of what we'll be going through today. And I want you to write on a piece of paper right next to you, what's something that you haven't shared on social media that you have felt pulled to share. And I'm not talking business. I am not talking product. I'm talking about something that you're like, wow, this has happened to me and it's hard, or this has happened to me and it's really exciting, or I've had this conversation with this person and it really resonated with me, because that makes up who you are, right? So I want you to write that down. Okay, then I want you to, take this time. You're thinking, oh, I don't know what she's talking about right now, and you've got your thinking caps on. We will get to it toward the end of the training. So write that down once it comes to you. And then if you feel up to sharing, let's talk about it, right? And how that can help you build your business and help you start building trust with your audience. Okay, so I wanted to open with that. Let me share my screen, because beautiful Rhonda Muller has put this amazing presentation together that I hope I've done it right. Yes, I did do it right. There we go. So I've used this template, which I think is amazing to keep us on track, because I can talk forever, just in case you guys haven't noticed. Let me know whether you can see my screen. Yeah, perfect. So welcome to Motivation Monday. If your teams aren't on, this is the time to get them on. Let's go through and have a look at what we got planned for you tonight. So my name is Lucia Versa, and I've got a picture there of my children, right? And this is a little bit about what I was talking about before. Like, life isn't perfect. If you're waiting for the perfect time, even if you have kids, even if you don't have kids, there's always chaos. Always chaos. And you can see my kids, they're pretty chaotic, but I bloody love them, and they make up a big reason of why I do this. And they're a big part of my journey and what I share, right? Because it's my life, right? It is me. And if other women are looking at this and they're thinking, could I ever do that because my life is chaotic and I've got kids, etc., it shows them that they can. Okay, so it's a big part. So don't feel like it's a disadvantage. It is your life currently as it is your biggest advantage, right? So share your wins. Who would like to share some of their wins that you've had last month? Do we have anybody? Come on, there must be someone.
I think Ilani should share her win that she went out on the weekend and set up a stall.
Who's that, sorry?
Ilani, do you want to share?
Ilani.
Hi. Yeah, we joined Biggest Morning Tea on Saturday. So there was about 10 stalls. Um, we had a few people coming through, which were able to talk to and hand out a bit of pamphlets. Had a raffle as well, so we've got that lead of that guy. He won a healthy globe stack actually, so managed to follow up with him as well.
Amazing. And
Um,
how did you feel after doing the stall? Was this your first stall that you did?
no, I have done some before.
Yeah.
Because this was more for Cancer Foundation, so it wasn't so much to find, um, you know, build the business that much, more just to make contacts and just getting to know people again.
Yeah, beautiful. I love that. I love that. But even though it wasn't, to share the business, did you feel energized that you had actually touched your business and had connected with people and shared the activation story?
What's good is every time I do one, I feel a bit more confident to talking to people,
Yeah.
and I think that's what's good for me by doing more of them. I'm not always building anything, but except apart from myself.
Yeah, I love that. I love that for you. And it's, I think you've hit the nail on the head. Like the more you do something, you're building that muscle and you're building that confidence as well. And you're doing it from a place of love and genuinely wanting to share and help people, which I think is fantastic. So congratulations to you,
I actually
Elaine.
have to totally agree. From when I saw Elani do her first event, and you could sense the nervousness, to she's had just a couple since then, and now she's rolling it. She knows, she's relaxed, she's talking to people about Pro Tandem, and it was just awesome to see the growth in her.
Yeah, congratulations. And what a great mentor you have in Susan. She's awesome. Very lucky. Very, very lucky. Anybody else that would like to share one of their wins? We have time for one more.
Yeah, I'll go.
Yes? Who's there? Who's that?
Kylie.
Kylie, where are you? Let me find you. Hi,
There.
Kylie. How are
Hi.
you?
Good. We had I'm in Toowoomba in southwestern Queensland, and we had Rhonda fly down from Mackay and put on a winter woolies and visit us in Toowoomba. So we did two presentations. I did organised a Friday night one and at a local cafe a friend of mine runs, and we just did it after the cafe closed. And then we did one at 2 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. So I think in the two sessions we got about 25 people, but for those people who weren't able to come, I was able to follow up and, have start or have conversations with them. So yeah, it was fabulous. And Sue was also there with us as well. Sue Watson was in the area, so she could invite some of her team. Yeah, it was great. Very good to do finally a face-to-face event.
Yeah, beautiful. And Kylie, was this one of your first events?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And what was your biggest learning from it? Or your biggest takeaway, I should say, not so much a learning.
I guess the takeaway was that, like, even though I'd gone out, I'd invited a lot of people, and I was a bit stressed because, people can't come that weekend, or they cancel at the last minute, and you've got somebody who's invested a lot to come. Um, I was still able to have those conversations with people who didn't come, and I'm still doing that and following people up.
And what's that done
So,
for your confidence in the business and just learning how to do this and building your skills?
yeah, good. Well, it was good because I felt as though I could, you know, um, run something here myself. So it wasn't as really as big a deal as what I was thinking it was in my head.
Yeah, sometimes we do make things, a little bit bigger than what they are. But I
Yeah,
think, the events will always pan out the way that they're meant to, right?
yeah,
And the fact that we're getting out and we're doing them and we're inviting, we're building that skill. I think that's the most important thing, right? So think of this business as like a 4-year apprenticeship, right? Where you're building the skills, you're learning those skills, and becoming a professional while you're at it. I always say to my team, no one walks into a brand new person, walks into an organization and all of a sudden is a CEO, right? You've got to learn the skills. And the beautiful things about network marketing is you get to promote yourself, right? You get to, manage your business, and, you get to work it, and you get to rank advance. And that is a promotion, right? So we're in charge, and I absolutely love that. So congratulations for you, Kylie. Very proud of you. You should be very proud of yourself. Thank you so much for sharing. All right, let's get this moving along. Events in June so far. I'm sure there's more to come, but we have beautiful Joanne. Joanne, do you mind unmuting just a little bit for those of you that haven't met Joanne and that are new here? And if you are new and this is your first Motivational Monday, can you just say hello in the comments? I can't see who's on specifically, so we can welcome you as well. But Joanne, if you don't mind unmuting and just introducing yourself to the community and sharing a little bit more about this event and who you are, that would be amazing.
Okay, listening to Brandon the other day, I'd already had this thought process in my mind, but also we've spoken about sharing your stories. Your stories sell, and if there's anything that I have learnt from my normal field, so I'm in diet nutrition, and my clients are normally weight loss clients. That's what I've been doing for 30 years. But since I had a knee pain going back, before November was the solution, but going back earlier in the year, last year, I woke up and felt like I was an old lady. I started hobbling on my knee, and and I always find the universe, sometimes you're attracted to things that you needed at the right time. And whilst I was suffering and bleeding in my pain, there had to be a solution. And I had been to countless specialists, etc., massage, needling, acupuncture. I exercised therapy, did everything. And I didn't realize what I didn't know until I didn't know what I didn't know. And that was the life-changing part. And then even when I'd met Rhonda, that I changed to the collagen NRF2. So this is where my story started in November, and where I've been working with and transitioned a little bit in my clinic. I'm still doing diet, nutrition, and weight loss, but I'm also attracting people who have got pain issues because they're coming from my stories and the story that I continually do. I continually do lives, or I continually post. But these are the people that I'm attracting in my business. And I probably have around about 30 odd people that would not have been what I classify as my ideal client. They're not my weight loss people, but they're coming from a whole different genre, which is really good, because it means I've got more to talk about, which I actually really do love, because like you, I love talking. So then I thought, well, I'll create a new one. Like, I would have paid anything. And anyone knows, if you're in pain, we would pay anything to get out of pain. Like, I paid specialists, I paid all these people, and they all told me there was nothing wrong with me. Every single one, even my massage person. So when you can actually find a solution and realize that there's a bigger picture to solving this, and the symptoms come in, there's definitely a place in it. And that's why I decided I'm going to share my story, because this is my story. I can talk be authentic about who I am, but also what I'm bringing to the clinic. And part of my slides that I've generated is I've created 4 testimonials, but they're video testimonials. They're people that have got real things that I've come across, and they're happy enough to give me like 30 seconds of their time. But we've got video testimonial of how they've changed just by doing exactly what I've done. So that's been a lead with. Now, when we do the marketing for this, what I have done, because a lot of people don't know specifically about me, I've created a Word document. I'll just run it past Rhonda before we actually set it off. One of the things that I think is going to be helpful in any lead up for any event or seminar or webinar is having a little bit of background. So I've created 5 or 6 different posts that consultants can use on their socials with the image and share, hey, this is Jo, she's a naturopath, but it actually sounds as if it's coming from them. So I've created that. And you can pick any of the 5 different posts, or use multiple different posts, because that's the only way you're going to be able to generate more people to come onto these events. Because what I'm noticing is that we don't always have a lot of people on them. One, I think we need more lead time into promoting it. 2, more socials and coverage for it, so that people have this could be a great one to share with my people. And then also the information behind it, so it doesn't make it too hard to share it on the socials. But that's sort of where I'm sort of going with it there. And if I was to give one tip, one tip at all, and you're going to do your marketing, I know, one of the things I have learned is that when you download your photos into your computer, and we just call them Canva files, or we don't even name them, they're just called 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You need to name these files. If it's called, like from this promo here, I would have done Joe promo, I would have paid anything, because what's happening now with AI is that it's coming in through your socials and everything like that, but it's picking up the words that is in your actual naming of your photos. And that is how I've learned that you're getting your photos in your Google search, because you're naming your photos. If you don't name your photos, there's no crawling going along and picking it up. And when people are typing in relevant information, how do I lose weight, or how do I get rid of pain, if you've got those keywords in your picture images, the little feelers are going to start picking them up, and you're going to start popping up into cyber world. That's just one of the things I learned last week.
Love that. And that's your SEO. So I love that. And thank you for sharing. Can we give Joe some love in here, who loves what she's created, and her energy and her conviction, and also with her experience. I mean, I'm not a naturopath or a health professional, and I can talk all day and share experiences, but how wonderful that we're able to get our people in front of someone as qualified as Joanne to help us build a business and help them, right? And serve the people that we are being called to serve. So thank you, Joe. Really appreciate you jumping on and sharing that. Okay, so what we have also is our Saturday event. So we've got Marcel. Josie, just confirming that this is still correct. We have Marcel on this Saturday, but soon a Super Saturday will be coming once per month.
So coming on this Saturday.
Sorry, Marcel is coming on this Saturday?
Yeah, Marcel. Yeah.
Perfect. So this is correct as it is. So this is what we have on Saturday. So we encourage you to jump on and hear how these people built their businesses, because I know that things do change and we have social media now, but the foundations never change. Like I'm showing up on social media, but I'm having so many conversations face to face. I'm having so many coffee dates because what I'm doing on social media sparks conversation, and people are also curious about, oh my goodness, what is it that you're doing on social media? Like, what is it that you're doing? What are those products? I've been meaning to ask you about it, right? So learning those skills and hearing how they're doing it and how they've done it and how we can apply it into our business today, it's really no different. We've just have an extra step, an easier way of marketing, which is our socials. So this is also in boards, in the ANZ Collab boards. If you haven't joined the ANZ Collab announcement only chat, let your upline know so we can add you to it. There's also the ANZ Collab chat. We can add you to those, and also the LifeVantage consultant page over here. Make sure you plug into those and see what's going on and keep up to date with what's happening, because there's so much happening and how exciting. Also consultant events. So Lisa and I had a little bit of fun here in WA, and we shared it all over socials, showed off energy, right? So we did the unboxing over here and showed what all the goodies were. Okay, and just taking people on a journey, so behind the scenes. Because what we usually tend to do is we go to the event as like, voila, we're here. But what happens beforehand? Like, what's all the craziness that happens beforehand, all the funny conversations that happen beforehand? That makes it relatable. Once again, people don't want something extra to do, but they want to have fun. They want to build a business. They want to know that you are just like them, and they can also do this and have fun while they're doing it, right? So that's a little bit about what we did. Had heaps of fun with the hats as well. Lisa, is there anything that you wanted to share in relation to what we did here in Perth?
Thanks, Luke. We had a great time. I was able to get away from home for a few days, which was really great to regroup and do some planning and taking that time, because it's often, I find it really hard when you're in the trenches at home to take that space. But I've got to get better at going out for a couple of hours and doing that. I think just by doing it, it's like a muscle. If we're not doing it, it's going to get really stiff and sore. Same with presenting. We've just got to keep going. And I think for us to do these, even though they were small events, but they were really, really good conversations, and every conversation is a good one, right? And it's the flow on from that. it may not lead anywhere for the specific people we spoke to, but it helped our confidence. It helped us to know that, yes, we are on the right track. Yes, we do have a gift to share. And I think, it just showed us that, yes, we have to get in front of people. This is where it's at. We love social media and we know we spend a lot of time on there. Well, I do. But to get out. So I even went out in at my own town this week a couple of times, and just to be out there and to be with people and speak to people. I think I can get very comfortable staying at home, and I'm challenging myself not to. So I think it was just great. Just loved the conversations, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, I loved it too. And we had one event that didn't finish till 10 p.m. And we had a little bit of, business talk and product talk, but the rest of it we spent connecting, right? Connecting, because that's, how you're going to make people feel is what they'll remember. Right. And that was just, I know that we've built relationship. The people haven't purchased yet, but they will. Right. And there's been lots of conversations afterwards as well. So just remember connection, right? That's what people want. They want that people don't know you care until they know you care, right? Julie Court, you had an amazing event. Do you mind unmuting and just sharing a little bit? Because I know this was huge for you. You felt you wanted something that you wanted to do for a long time, and finally you bit the bullet and you did it. Can you just talk us through that just a little bit?
Yeah. I think I feel best, most relaxed. I've done just a few health expos before at different events and that, and it's just good. You can go to markets, but then I think health expos are different because people are normally there. They are generally there. They want to help with their health in some way. They're looking for something, whereas just at a normal market, it's not necessarily the way. So, and then I think coming back after leadership in that in Brisbane, and I thought, well, maybe I can do this. And then I sort of thought and hummed and hawed for a bit, and then I wanted to do it on a different sort of an angle. It wasn't just a presentation. So then, because we have so many, like Joanne and different ones we have in our businesses who have got all these other really good talents. Like I've got Sigmund, who's here. I mean, she's been a PT trainer for many years, and she helps people with strength development, because if you can't get yourself off the floor, like this is what happens. A lot of people end up in nursing homes well before they probably should, because they fall down and they can't get themselves up. So I says, can you just come in and do some simple little exercises just to show people what they should be doing to keep your body strengthened and in these different areas? And then she came in and did an absolutely wonderful job. And I approached, there was another lady, a massage lady who I go to. She does sound healing and Reiki and all that sort of thing. She actually she was really devoted because she couldn't come on the day, but she gave me a bit of a bio and I just read it out and everything. And then there's a lady that has got a gym that she's opened up. She's like more of a fight and fitness thing. They do this like Muay Thai or whatever. But I went there and I realized that they actually a non-for-profit organization, and they actually open the place up. Like if there's kids around there, like who just hang around, they want somewhere to go, and like they've had suicides be around. They knew of a kid that was coming all the time. If they had known, they probably could have helped more. But he used to hang around there, and they say mothers who are just there, they just want somewhere to go and talk, not necessarily even if they have to exercise. So, and I thought, I'm sure a lot of people in our community don't know about this. Would you be interested in, come along and can you come along? I'm having this little mini health expo. And so she came along, and that was really good as well. So we had our presentation, and I had a few samples and like Axio and the skincare and everything there. And it was just like, but yeah, as I went along, I'm thinking, oh, can I do this? Can I do it? And then I thought, well, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it in a big way. So I did mailbox flyers, and I approached all our community groups around here and went around to venues, the RSL, the golf club, the bowls club, and we had a nice venue at the golf club. They were very nice. Yeah, and in the end it sort of all came together, but I was a bit apprehensive at different times, but it was just good connecting, and I've got so many people who wanted to come but they couldn't come, but now I'm following up with them, or I have already, and it's given me so many more leads. and a lady who tried the product, she says, yeah, I really love that. I'm going to finish what I've got and then I'm going to buy this. And everyone that came, they just said, wow, I've never heard of this before. This is so good. And with the content that we had, so it was really, really good feedback, basically.
I love that for you, Jules. And I've got 30 seconds because I do want to go through some training with the team. But one question that I wanted to ask you is, regardless of the results of what the event brought around, right? What has this done for you and your belief?
Yeah, well, it just said, well, I can do this. And people were listening to me. And although I'm not like qualified in any way, but I do help people. So I can, and I do have a story. And I realized that I need to get more confident, but yeah, I can do it. And although I thought, oh, I'm glad that's over, but I'm thinking, maybe we could do another one down the track. So I'm in the middle of doing emails to send out to the people who registered to do a follow-up and then get feedback and see if we had another one, would you come back and invite other people? So along that lines.
I love that. I love that for you. And I love the belief that it has created that you can do this. We can all do this, right? And you are working that muscle. So I love that you've had, that moment of realization that, yeah, actually, I can do this and I do help people and I don't need a title next to my name because I genuinely do this and I do it from the heart and I do know that our products help. So congratulations. So who needed to hear that from Julie? Because I know that a lot of people probably did, who are sitting there thinking, I don't know if I can do this, I'm not qualified, this, that, the other. But there's heaps of us here who are doing it. And we know how you feel because we have been there. We've felt that before, but we've committed and here we are now. So I'll quickly stop my share because I don't have long left. But let me know in the comments whether you loved all the shares tonight, whether it's been helpful for you. But I quickly wanted to talk about social media, right? Because I can see a lot of people showing up. And I love that you are showing up on social. And I just want to give you a few tips that I know that have helped me over the years, right? And one of them is understanding who your target audience is and really understanding them. And I don't mean surface level. I mean, what are their pain points? What are they struggling with internally, right? Because your target audience, your dream customer is most likely your dream business partner as well. Right? Because once you have that mapped out, how old are they? What do they do for work? What are they struggling with? What do they love? What do they wish they had more time for? Right? So those type of questions, and you can go deeper, okay? Because every time you write a post or you share a story, you should be asking yourself, is this talking and resonating with my target audience? Because when you're doing that and you're doing it right, you're getting into their heads, right? Psychologically. And they are thinking, and I get these messages all the time, Lucia, how did you get in my head? Like, how do you know this? This happens to me all the time, right? And it generates conversation, right? Your social media should be your content should be generating conversations. Okay. And who in here thinks sometimes, oh, I don't know what to post? Drop me a 2 in the comment. I'm just cognizant of time. I don't want to run over time. And I might just have to leave it here. All right, perfect. I'm telling you now, the conversations that you're having in your messenger, you can generate content in relation to that. If someone's telling you that they are struggling and you're having all these conversations, you can go write about that. Right? Not saying so-and-so mentioned this to me, right? But for example, a new girl that has joined me, one of her biggest things was she didn't want something extra to do. She didn't want it to be like all the other network marketing companies where they had something else to do. My advice to her was forget what you're seeing online, forget what other people do. Let's work this out, how you can do it in the time that you have. And I shared that story because I know that there's women out there who are thinking, the market is saturated with network marketers who are doing all these different things, and I don't want to do that. So I'm giving them reassurance. You don't have to do what they are doing. We will work it out, right? So I'm getting into those people that I'm trying to attract. I'm getting into their heads that way. Is this? I'm going really fast now because I have gone over time. I'm 2 minutes over time. So I hope this is making sense. Drop me a 3 in the comments if it is helping. And if you just had a light bulb moment or you're thinking, okay, this is starting to make sense. Okay, beautiful. Love it, love it, love it. My last thing is, and I've mentioned it tonight, is people buy, you before they buy anything else. And we are in a trust deficit. So when you start posting all the time, you're building trust. When you stop posting and you wind it back, you start losing trust. So then when you start posting all the time again, that's when you start building trust again. So if you're thinking I'm stopping and starting and my business is not moving forward, etc., set your schedule. Post 3 times a week, post 2 times per week, but train your audience in knowing that you show up 2 times per week, right? Or that you show up 3 times per week. So you're always in a trust plus, not a trust deficit. Okay. And the second thing that I want you to focus on is, what is a story that you can share that is authentic to you? Because there's so much crap out there, guys. There's so much people who are full of it. And what people want to know is, who are you? Can they trust you? And why should they buy from you? Right? Even before the selling. And I don't want it to be a selling post. I don't want it to be a product post. I don't want it to be a business post. I want you to show up as you, share something about you. You control the narrative. Okay? Share that, because your dream customer, your dream business partner, they are going through that struggle too, and they want to know that you understand. Is this helpful? Because I can talk about this all day long. And my last tip, if you want people to open up their wallet to you psychologically, go into your stories and share things that you love that are not related to your business. At the moment, I'm sharing food recipes. And I'm like, going into ChatGPT, I'm like, blah, 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 people want this recipe, do it up a nice little flyer, and I'm sending it to them, because then when they make that recipe and it's delicious, they were like, I trust Lucia that what she tells me is true. You know, those goat things that you put around the nose, right? My daughter had them. I had so many, like I bought them for my daughter and I shared that. I made absolutely no commissions for them. People have bought it, and guess what's happened? The ones that have bought, they went off and bought them, have actually purchased from me since. Psychologically, people will open up their wallets to you. So don't feel as though you can't share stuff just because you're not benefiting from it. Share the things that you love. It will build trust. I am leaving you there tonight, guys. I fire hosed you all that last moment, but I hope that you have found value, and I hope that you can go off and apply some of these things. That authenticity piece and that trust piece, I know that can be really, really uncomfortable, but if you really want to break through the social media and the noise, that's what people want to know. They want to know you. They don't really want to know about the product or the opportunity. I mean, they will want to know about that eventually, but to begin with, they want to know you. So go show them you. You are the gift. You are the secret sauce. Much love to you all. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. And share your wins. I'd love to hear if you implement anything that we spoke about tonight and how you go with it. Love and appreciate you all. Thank you all for tuning in.